dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky. This is WYMT Mountain News Weekend Edition.
Good evening, I'm Amelia Lee. So far, more than 1,700 flights have been canceled today across the country. At Los Angeles International Airport and others across the country, passengers are scrambling to get on new flights and find their luggage.
Long lines, piles of luggage, and travelers pushed to the limit.
You might not be back till Monday. I'm like, Monday?
Millions of passengers feeling the fallout today of the largest IT outage in history, the CrowdStrike software meltdown.
This is all luggage from people, flights canceled or waiting for a different flight. It's been stressful.
From Malaysia to Mexico, Europe and the U.S., flyer frustration builds as airlines struggle for a second day to get online.
They couldn't get us out till Monday afternoon.
Delta has scrapped at least 1/4 of its flights, with the most disruption at Atlanta's airport. Half of United's flights are delayed, with its Houston hub a trouble spot. The outage also impacting operations at our nation's ports, borders, hospitals, 911 call centers, and more.
Small businesses, large businesses, spending the whole weekend trying to get their systems back online. This is not a sort of champagne moment now that maybe the panic's over.
The fix isn't fast. It's machine by machine, where each computer needs to be manually rebooted and updated.
Has this been oversold or undersold?
The magnitude of this has probably been underestimated around the globe. This is not 1, 2, 3, snap of the finger. I mean, this will go on probably for the next week, the lingering impact.
Tired travelers will have to practice patience.
It stinks. It's scary.
Why is it scary?
Because it could happen again.
If your flight is canceled and you choose not to get on a different one, you can ask for your money back. Elise Preston, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And flight struggles were no different for one Kentucky man. So he took matters into his own hands and found another way to get home. Christian Muncie was heading home to Lexington from a work trip in Philadelphia when things came to a grinding halt. Muncie's plane to Charlotte, North Carolina eventually ended up taking off, but once he landed, he missed his connecting flight to Lexington.
That's when stuff was being released, just through news and stuff like that, that there was a software malfunction. And I didn't even actually get back on a plane. I actually rented a U-Haul, a 10-foot box truck.
Feeling like he was out of options to get back home, Muncie hit the road in the U-Haul. He made it home Friday evening. In total, he says he spent more than 24 hours trying to get back to the Bluegrass State. A man was found dead after being trapped under an ATV in Knox County Saturday morning. Police say family members of the man last talked to him Friday afternoon when he said he was going to get lumber. Family members reportedly searched for him throughout the night. The man, 59-year-old James Vaughn of Swan Pond, was found on Rufus Mills Ridge off of Kentucky South 11 in Barberville. The sheriff's office says they are still investigating. A 3-year-old was taken to UK Chandler Hospital this morning after being hit by a vehicle. Officials say the incident happened on Trout Court just before noon. The child is said to have life-threatening injuries. Police say the collision reconstruction unit and the forensic services unit were called to the scene and are investigating the incident.
Had a lot of rain earlier today, especially in the southern parts of our viewing area, but it is all quiet now. Taking a look at our hazard cam, it is 70 degrees outside, clear skies, a little bit of clouds, but as you can see, we are one day away from a full moon, and that moon is shining bright. Everywhere else around looking clear as well in Mount Vernon, London, Corbin, and Pikeville. Looking at our high temperatures for today, we barely got over 80 in some places, 81 in Jackson, 82 in Hazard, 78 in Pikeville, and 72 in Wise and Clintwood. Monticello and Somerset both got to the higher 80s though, and current temperatures 70s all across eastern Kentucky, even 69 in Middlesboro, so not too bad at all. Looking at estimated rainfall, we did see a good bit of rain today as well, with higher rainfall totals such as 1.7 inches and even 2 inches across the state today. Amelia?
Thank you, Drake. For more than 2 decades, members of the Virginia Dental Association have offered its services to provide people in the area with free dental care. WYMT's Austin Hicks was in Wise for the full story.
In 2000, members of the Health Wagon and Virginia's Dental Association came to Wise County and formed the Mission of Mercy project after noticing there was a need for dental and health care in the area. 25 years later, the Mission of Mercy project is still cleaning teeth in the Wise community.
We've served over 22,000 patients and just at this WISE project alone, and the overall program that does free dental clinics around the state has served over 71,000 patients since it started.
The goal was to treat people and give them the best possible care.
We don't want people being in pain, and there's such a connection to oral health and systemic health with, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, preterm births, all these things that are connected. So we want to get people out of pain. We don't want people to have disease in their mouth. So I think that's the biggest thing.
What makes this clinic truly special is it requires no proof of insurance and was free for everyone in the community. Tar Quinn says being able to provide health care to the people of Wise was seen as a reward in and of itself.
Gift is really in the giving, and that we receive more than we give through this process. So I think it just coming together as a community and this humanity to care for your neighbors, be they on the other side of Virginia, is just such a gift to be able to be a part of that.
The clinic's impact touched thousands of lives during its 25 years, but some say those working the clinic are equally, if not more, impacted by the services.
We're impacted as much as the people that we're impacting. I will say that. I mean, the patients that we're serving, I know they're thankful and grateful, but we feel like we're the ones that are being rewarded.
Michelle McGregor says they will continue to come back each year until they are no longer needed. In Wise County, Austin Hicks, WYMT Mountain News.
McGregor says more than 300 VCU dental students assisted in setting up and running the clinic. Back to school season is just around the corner, and health officials say now is the time to start preparing for back to school vaccines. Doctors with the American Academy of Family Physicians say you should get your child vaccinated now because it can take weeks for the vaccine protection to develop. One of the latest concerns is measles. As of last week, 167 measles cases were reported in 24 states this year alone.
It is frightening, and we want to make sure that families, and particularly families who have children, know that those illnesses are preventable with vaccines that are available in your family physician's office every day.
Officials also say to keep flu vaccines on your mind as well, but any other vaccines each child would need varies due to age. Coming up at 11, a volunteer fire department in the region is paying respect to its founders.
And after a rainy day in eastern Kentucky, we are finally starting to clear up. I'll have the forecast for next week and a look at the last week of July in just a few minutes.